something that they highlighted, and it really got me thinking, is how native knowledge between humans is something that is very integral to human history. I mean, traditional medicine, shared knowledge passed down through generations. And with the, I guess, rise of like universities and learning institutions, which was for a long time mostly for like white men, with enough money to be able to do that instead of have to work. We kind of began to really look down on native knowledge and like, you know what I mean? And like kind of just brush it off like, you don't know. Like, you're not an academic. You haven't studied. You haven't done this.
You're not certified. You're not verified.
Certified. But I think at heart, we really want that human connection and knowledge to be shared with us.
Totally.
On an intimate level with someone that we trust. And social media has opened that back up in this incredible way and shifted expertise, or what we perceive as expertise, from someone who is a scholar, is a medical doctor, is, actually does, at least has studied it and knows and is an expert in some area, to someone who is just a normal person who is sharing this knowledge with you. And it's like a very special thing. It's like, this worked for me, I'm going to tell you about it. I mean, it's the same thing that happens if you get together with your girlfriends or whatever. You're like sharing these stories, these anecdotes, and it's really impactful.
Like on a deep level, like you're like an evolutionary, like old level.
That's what I mean. It's like in us as humans.
Welcome to Influence to Death, your guide for navigating the wild world of wellness influencing. Hi, I'm Victoria LaFont. Welcome to Influence to Death.
Hey y'all, I'm Hannah Wright, and today we're going to be talking about apple cider vinegar, but probably more focused on Belle Gibson, like the story and kind of why it happened. How is that possible? So yeah, this is it.
We will never also have a uniform beginning of this podcast. I apparently have a brain that is just bound and determined to make it a different introduction every time. So Hannah, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was thinking, because I was listening to I like to listen back to our episodes to think about how to make it better. And so I was listening to the one we just put out, and I was just thinking about how much pressure, at least for me personally, you feel when you're being recorded or just recording, even a casual conversation with someone who you're close with. Like, I'm comfortable speaking with you, but yet I have a really hard time forming complete sentences. I don't realize it. I mean, I do realize it in the moment. I'm like, oh my God, Hannah, come on. But like when I'm listening back, I'm like, I'll have to take out long pauses and things, because it's kind of almost like you're public speaking or something, and you kind of freeze a little bit. Does that happen to you too?
Oh, I feel like I'm back in high school and Miss Grassfetter, my algebra teacher, has called on me to go up to the board and like solve the problem. That's how it feels. But then there are moments where I feel like that goes away. And I think like as we do this more, I feel a lot better today. This will be episode 27, by the way, which is pretty amazing. I feel a lot better at episode 27 than I did in the first episode that we did. So I think it'll get better.
So thanks for listening to us and hanging on, even though sometimes you might be like, what are these women talking about?
I actually saw a friend in California who was like, I love your podcast. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. We have no idea what we're doing. And she was like, I know.
Oh, great. Okay.
But she was like, I still love it. It was like, I think one of the reasons that she actually liked it. So I was like, cool, I'll lean into that.
Cool. Yes, we're here for it.
Yeah, so if people don't know what we're talking about, there is this new, I said movie, I think, in one episode. I thought it was a movie until we started watching it. It's like a mini series, like multiple hour-long episodes, that it's a dramatization of a true story of a woman who, I think she was likely more well-known in Australia than she was in the United States, but now the story is blowing up again because of the coverage from these pieces of media. She was an influencer on Instagram. She amassed, it was over 1 million followers, I believe. Her name was Belle Gibson. I always want to call her Mel Gibson because it sounds very similar, but it's
never occurred to me.
Mel Gibson. And she amassed all these followers because she told the story on her social media account that she had brain cancer. And so, trigger warning, if you have not watched, sure, there are trigger warnings, but more like, we're gonna, what's the right word? It's like, we're gonna tell about the
Spoiler?
detail. Yes, spoiler alert. She doesn't actually have brain cancer. She never had any kind of cancer. We're 99.9% sure that that's the case. So, yeah, I think I mentioned my mother-in-law was like, you should watch this. And it definitely fits into a lot of the overarching themes that we touch on in this podcast. So, yeah, and just to remind people, this episode is for paid subscribers. So pretty soon we'll cut off the episode. You kind of know what this is about. If you want to hear the full episode, please become a paid subscriber. It supports the work that we do in researching for this podcast and bringing you what we hope is the most balanced the most balanced take online of these popular wellness trends. I totally screwed that up. There you go. Perfect.